Boom! What's up, y'all? We are live. Welcome to the DJ Kenny Parker Show on a Monday night. And I know you guys are asking, why are we on a Monday night? And I figure most of you could probably guess that tomorrow, Tuesday, which we normally do the DJ Kenny Parker Show with the Tuesday crew, I will be DJing tomorrow night. So I will not be available at 8 o'clock. I will be at Bryant Park at a skating rink near Times Square in New York. Shout out to Vinyl Nights. Shout out to DJ Misbehavior. Shout out to Rebecca Lynn for putting me on. I will be out there rocking the 45s. We will be there from 6 to 9 p.m. in Bryant Park. It's inside and outside. There's going to be skating. So I'm going to be playing a lot of classic R&B, disco 45s, some hip hop 45s. So if you guys are in the New York area in Times Square, come through, holler at your boy. So I may still be able to do a Tuesday tomorrow, but I might not get home until like 10:30, which I figure was kind of late. So depending on how I feel after DJing, I may or may not jump on tomorrow as well. But for those just clicking on, tomorrow night I will not be available to do the Tuesday because I'll be in Bryant Park in Times Square, near Times Square in Manhattan for the roller skating jam, which should be fun. Let me scroll to the top. JT was first today. What's good? Haitian Space Program, what's up? Gregory Nettis, what's good? Matter of fact, let me make this a little bigger so I can see. I didn't wear those glasses so I can see. I don't wear glasses, but hey, Steele, what's good? Gregory Nettis says, don't forget to click the like button. On the notifications, so DJ Kenny Parker shows the shows on your phone and computer. Yes, please click the like button because it helps the algorithm. JWoo72, what up? I see some of the regulars. You know, I'm not expecting to catch a lot of the regulars today because it's a Monday, last minute. But whoever I can catch today, we're going to have a little fun talk. Henry Cedillo, what's good? From the LBC. JWoo. Eric Wright, what's good? Supreme Divine says, just grateful to be able to catch this one live. Word, Supreme Divine. Oh, you know what I want to show you guys real quick? I got a bunch of 45s by my feet. You guys can't really see it, but I'm just showing some of the records that I might play tomorrow. Let's see. I just pulled out classic. Let me make this smaller so I can see. The classic record. I got Lisa and the Cult Jam. I Wonder If I Take You Home. That always rocks. Din da da do do. This record is guaranteed at a function like a skating jam to get it going. Din da da, classic record. Cameo. Tastes like candy. And I want to shout out my man BJ, who is the son of Larry Blackman of Cameo. Good homeboy who used to work with BDP. I'm going to shout him out real quick. Let's grab a couple more. Bounce, rock, roll, skate. You got to play bounce, rock, roll, skate at a skating jam. I'm going to try to throw in some hip hop. Of course, I got my De La Soul. I got Me, Myself, and I. Buddy. I'm going to throw those on, depending on what kind of party it is, because it might be, you know, straight dance music. So I might not get a chance to play. I'm going to play Black Sheep. I'm going to play Dougie, Lottie Dottie. But otherwise, it's going to be it depends on the crowd. But I just wanted to show you that I got literally hundreds of 45s on the floor right now as I go through. Yes, And Gregory Netta says this: respect and stay strong to the people in Los Angeles, California. That wildfire is horrible. Yes, it is. It's almost shocking and unbelievable that Los Angeles is burning like this, and a lot of multi-million dollar properties are going up in flames. I saw Anthony Hopkins lost his home. My favorite movie of all time, The Silence of the Lambs. He lost his home and he lost a lot of memorabilia and a lot of stuff worth millions. But the good news is that he's safe. And they say the count is up to what, 24, 25 people who've lost their lives. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So I pray and peace out to anybody out in Los Angeles who's affected by that terrible fire. I hope they get it under control at some point soon. Ethan Sutton, I know I'm a little behind now, y'all, but I'm gonna jump into this. Ethan Sutton says, DJ KP, thank you for your live streaming tonight. Thank you for checking in. Um, can you talk a little bit about your workflow when making a sample-based beat? Would you consider doing private lessons? I don't know if I would do private lessons. I've never done private lessons, but I would talk quickly. The workflow is different depending on the track. Um, Sometimes you get a sample and it all comes together. I've seen people like when Pete Rock was on here talking, we had Pete Rock as a special guest. He was talking about how he made the remix for Shut 'Em Down in 15 minutes. Sometimes it just comes to you just like that. Other times it takes weeks and months to put a beat together. You just can't get the samples that you need to go together. Sometimes you can't get them to sync up in the drum machine. So each song, each track has its own story, its own time it took to make it, its own workflow. Um, Most of the time I usually start with drums and then build up from there. But that would be a whole conversation that probably would need a private lesson. Um, Maybe one day we could talk about that, Ethan Sutton. That's an interesting conversation. I would love to get into it with you, just talk about my process. E Money, what's good? Jeff Worrell, what's good? GF Worrell says, y'all almost missed this. What are these Monday night shenanigans? These Monday night shenanigans are when I can't make a Tuesday. Tomorrow night, for those that's just checking in, tomorrow night I will be at Bryant Park in near Times Square in Manhattan, New York, rocking a roller skating jam with Vinyl Nights from 6 to 9. So of course we go live at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, but I will be there from 6 to 9. Now, depending on what time I get home tomorrow, I might jump on for a little while. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. Dan Marasuti, peace from Scarborough, Canada. Benny Doyle is in the building. Monday special, we in there. Are we still running Tuesday? Like I just said, I'm not sure. I want to jump on a Monday and just let you guys know there will not be a Tuesday. Maybe they may or may not be a Tuesday. If so, it'll be late, like 10:30. I might jump on for a little while. Fahim Lee, haven't seen that name in a while. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Fahim says, peace, Kenny. Don't get mad, get fresh. Yes, it's been a while, but listening audience, join me in making a super chat. Match me to catch me. Oh, that'd be dope. Yes, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Fahim, for being a long time supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. Let me scroll down. FU2, what up? James Brown, that's a great name. Buffalo, New York. Corey Flood, this is old Snap Monday. Oh, before I almost forgot, next Tuesday, which will be the 21st, Sadat X will return to the channel. Next Tuesday, God willing, Sadat X will be back. We're going to talk to him a little bit more, catch up on some more stuff. So yeah, next Tuesday, Sadat will be in the building. The mother says, I work right there at Midnight Comics. Oh yeah, that's literally down the block. Come through. Um, DJ Casper says, I miss Mobile Mondays. Yeah, I miss Mobile Mondays too. What a classic event, and I believe that's one of the catalysts that brought the 45 vinyl movement back into the forefront. Shout out to Operator M's. Shout out Misbehavior. Shout out to the whole squad. Shout out to um, Natasha Diggs, Money Mike, Just Blaze. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh my God. Danny. Oh man. But shout out to the whole crew. I was fortunate to DJ there a few times. And everybody rocked that place. It was a great party. And it closed after the pandemic, and I guess they never opened it back, so it's over. But it was a great time. So that has morphed into Vinyl Nights with Rebecca Lynn, and I will be rocking that. So yeah. Bill Shapiro, what's up? Bill Shapiro says that shirt though, man. Yes. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. Muck the General says the same thing. Dope sweatshirt, KP. Gotta have one. I was fortunate enough to get this shirt from the great DJ Premier. Hooked me up. Shout out to my brother. We go back over 30 years. DJ Premier hooked me up with this sweatshirt. So I had a chance to rock it. It's a little chilly here in the New York area, and I would have had the heat on, but the heat would be blasting the volume. And I'm on my iPad today. You know, on Monday I decided to switch up. When I do a Monday, if I do a live location, well, this is not live, this is still in the crib, but anytime I do a different location from Tuesday, I'm gonna try to switch it up. So I'm on my iPad today. So if I cut the heat on, y'all would hear it going zzzz. So I decided to cut the heat off. So I figured I'd put this sweatshirt on and represent the crew. Shout out to the Gangstar Foundation. Rest in peace, Guru. Shout out to J. Rue, the group home, Big Shug, everybody. JT says, Peace H. Bippy. Is H. Bippy in the building? Let's go. Um, let's see. Michael from Mortis says, love that shirt, KP. Thank you. Yes. Thanks to DJ Premier. And the reason why I'm on today, for those that just jumped in, I may or may not be on tomorrow night. If I do, it will be late, like 10:30 or so. I might jump on for a quick second if you guys are still up. Um, if not, I'll catch you guys next Tuesday, which will be Sadat X will be here. So that'll be dope. Um, what's this? DJ Platform 204 says, hey, what's good, Kenny? My favorite day of the week. Enjoy your show. You catch Monday Night Raw or Netflix. They going from network TV. No George the Animal Steel, but Hulk Hogan and The Rock was on. Yeah, for those regulars that check out the show, know that my all-time favorite wrestler, and it's not even close, was George the Animal Steel. The best to ever do it, in my opinion. I was a kid watching him, and I couldn't believe this guy was on TV. I couldn't believe that he was so disgusting. I couldn't believe he was on TV. Those were the days, man. Engage VR YouTube channel. What's up? Salute, Kenny. Salute to the chat. We need to get a Monday. We need to get a Monday because the Tuesday crew is the Tuesday crew. We need to get a Monday something. Spook Realm 4Q, the Tuesday crew community will be patient. Yes, I may be here tomorrow, may or may not. Benny Doyle says, JT, we had 400 plus last week. Channel's growing. Yeah, last week was a big week. I don't know, maybe because it was cold, everybody was in the house. I don't know, but we had a lot of people on the check-in, which is always dope. And what did I do? But move the day to move today after we had a huge week. I decided to move it to Monday. Way to grow a channel. Nah, I have no choice really. Um, but to do it like this week. Reggie Johnson, what up? Um, Tony Chopper says, peace, KP, long live BDP. Yes, long live BDP. Um, Sometimes I miss when people say BDP. As you guys know, well, the last Boogie Down Productions album was Sex and Violence in 92. And I believe the last Boogie Down Productions song was The P Is Still Free, produced by DJ Premier. Now, that ended up being on Return of the Boom Bap as a song under KRS-One, but it was originally released on Menace to Society soundtrack as a Boogie Down Productions song. That was a BDP song. I think that was the last Boogie Down Productions song. Then, of course, we had the BDP crew. But yeah, long live BDP, man. Um, Let me do my Benny Doyle scroll down. And, oh, I haven't seen this name in a while. MODX Mike, what's good? Says, what's good, KP? I see you rocking my Gangstar sweatshirt. Yes. Big up, Gangstar. CMC's technique, what's good? Corey Flood says, Kenny, do you play freestyle? Do you have? Yeah, I have some freestyle, not a lot of freestyle. I have some freestyle. Uh, I'd have to go look through my records. I have a handful, not a lot. Um, but I try to get on what I can, you know. Um, yeah, I try to play them. I try to play what I think is gonna rock the party, especially like roller skating kind of parties are a little different. So kind of try to keep it up tempo and fun. Freestyle is definitely in that mode. Um, Engage VR YouTube channel says nice 45s. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm just pulling 45s. I got a bunch of them on the floor, and I'm gonna organize so I can be ready for tomorrow. Um, oh, look at this. Rap Salute says apparently Madlib lost his house. Oh, that is terrible, terrible, terrible. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say that, you can always get personal stuff back, but you can never get your life back. And if you're lucky enough to, been able to evacuate and escape that fire and you're alive, it's a blessing. I know, losing your house, some people, if you don't have insurance, you're basically homeless. You lost everything. And some people have lost things that can never be replaced. And it's just terrible all the way around. But that's terrible for Madlib. I can't even imagine what those people are going through. Um, Spook Realm says, what about a roller skating ring named Saturday? I have that on 45, and it's actually right over there. I may or may not play that. DJ Misbehavior, she usually plays that song in her mix. So I normally don't bring it because she normally plays it. But I love that song. As you guys know, I love De La Soul, and De La Soul is Dead. It's just incredible to me. DJ Platform says, hey, Kenny, did you hear that there is a new Smith & Wesson album dropping February 21st called Infinity? No, I did not know that. Shout out to Smith & Wesson. Shout out to the whole boot camp clique. I will be checking that out. I will be checking that out when it drops. Thank you for putting me on that. Um, Let me scroll down a little bit. Mr. C, shout out to Mr. C, Jason Wall. Jason Wall says, "Hey Kenny, did BDP have any interaction with UTFO? Did you all do any shows or anything together?" Um, in my time, by the time I joined BDP, and I say this all the time, I joined BDP in late '89, and I became the DJ in '90. Um, by that point, UTFO, I do believe, had disbanded. Now, I have met, shout out to Dr. Ice, he was signed to Jive as a solo artist. And so I used to see him up at the Jive office. As a matter of fact, and he's a great dancer, by the way, fantastic dancer. I do believe that Dr. Ice came by KRS One's crib one time. I do believe I was at Chris's house, and Doc Ice was there, if I recall. I think I remember seeing Doc Ice at Chris's crib. Shout out to Mixmaster Ice. He was always cool, dope ass DJ. Um, I met him. I used to see him around. He was always cool. And of course, rest in peace to Kango Kid. I used to see him all the time at the Tony Touch. Tony Touch used to throw the Toka Tuesday, another classic party that ended around the pandemic, man. New York lost some classic parties, man. Um, he used to be a staple at those parties, and I used to see him. I never met the educated rapper. Rest in peace to him. Um, so the answer to your question is, did BDP do shows with them? I'm sure the KRS-One, Scott LaRock, D Nice era might have did shows um, with UTFO, but in my time, no. Um, our business too. What up, KP? What up? Been a long time since I popped through. Yes, I haven't seen that name in a while. What's good, man? Pop in. Says what up to the chat. What up? Corey Flood says, Kenny, I'm prepared to guest host tomorrow. Let me know. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But I may be on tomorrow. So hold on. Hold on. I may or may not be on tomorrow, but if I do, it will be very it won't be any like advance notice. I will come in the house and jump on. Def Rocker says, is your DJ session at Bryant Park going to be recorded? I'm not sure. I don't know what the setup is. I think this is the first time that Vinyl Nights is doing. I think they're doing four weeks there, and me and Misbehavior are the first week. I'm not sure what the setup is. I've never DJed there before, so I don't know. But if it is, I'll let you know. Um, E Money says, don't forget to subscribe, people. Now I know that my regulars on here are subscribers. It's impossible for me not to believe that my regulars on here are not subscribed. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and more like and hit the like button as well. GF Worrell says, boom, Sadat X in 2 weeks. No, Sadat X in 1 week. Sadat X will be here next Tuesday, the 21st. Ice Cold Beverage says, peace, KP, that Gangstar shirt is fresh. Yes, it is. And I saw DJ Premier with this shirt on, and I told him, Preem, I have got to get one of those shirts. And he said, come by the studio. I got one for you. And the next day, I went by the studio, chilled out with Preem, and true to his word, he hooked me up. I might rock this shirt tomorrow. I should rock this shirt tomorrow at the roller skating jam. This is an interesting question right here. Tommy Casilla says, I got a question. How big was the 90s house scene in New York, and did you enjoy it? Well, I was not a house head um, I was straight hip hop in the 90s. So I heard house music in like the peripheral. I heard like some of the biggest songs. They would play them in the clubs, or you'd be in a spot and they would play it, or you'd hear it. But I was not in the scene. But what I do know is house music in New York was as big as it was probably anywhere else in the world. Um, that in the 80s they had the classic house clubs, and in the 90s I remember they used to have whole nights, like places like the Tunnel, which had a huge hip-hop night. They also had huge house nights. I wasn't there. I remember there was a club called Nels on 14th Street. Used to play a lot of house music. um but I was strictly hip-hop. I actually enjoy the 90s house music more now than I did when it was out. um But yeah, to answer your question, I believe it had to be gigantic for me to know about it, and I was strictly hip hop and R&B, reggae, and for me to know about house means it was gigantic. Um, let's see. Floshi One says I gotta get one of them shirts too. I don't know if Preem is selling them or if he just made it for the crew, his crew. I'm not really sure how that goes. I'm just happy. I'm just happy to have got one. Mr. C says, H. Bippy, come to the front of the building. Yes, H. Bippy, come to the front. Step up. Ice Cold Beverage says, KP, do you consider Shan's Down by Law a classic? Yes, I do. What did you and Chris think of that record when it dropped? Well, I never really talked to Chris about Shan when this album dropped. I mean, that was in the middle of the Bridge Wars. So I don't know what Chris thought of MC Shan. I guess what he thought about it was what he said in the records. I personally like, and I've always said this, I liked MC Shan before the battle with Chris. I liked MC Shan when he had Marley Scratch. I liked The Bridge. I like Down by Law was dope. They used they used the Seventh Wonder beat. If I recall off the top of my head, there was a few records on that album that I liked. I even liked the song he had. How could I fell off? How could I fell off? Boy, I helped pioneer this. I used to like that. I like Shan as an artist. So to answer your question is, yeah, I think Down by Law was dope. Of course, I didn't like the answer to South Bronx. Kill that noise. Mr. C says, me too, Kenny P. George the Animal Steel with that green tongue. Yes. And he used to be licking people's face. And he used to chew off the padding off the side of the ring. He used to chew it down to the metal and be smashing people's head in it. Oh, he was the best. Funklesh says, hello, KP, sending much love from Israel. Much love to Israel. What time is it there? Abel Valdez says, Monday, what the hell is going on here? What's going on is I may not be here tomorrow, Tuesday, because I have a DJ engagement at Bryant Park near Times Square. It's a roller skating jam, and we will be out there rocking the 45s. I just see one right here that I didn't show. SOS band, take your time, do it right. I will probably be playing that. I'm just looking at stuff that's on the floor. What is this? Apache, jump on it. And everybody does the Will Smith dance or whatever. Those are the kind of records I play. But I'm throwing some I got some hip hop joints, but I gotta see what kind of crowd it is. CMC's Technique, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Yo, KP, as a kid, I always believed the human beatbox from Fat Boys was the original beatboxer. Is it him or Dougie Fresh? Well, Dougie Fresh calls himself the original human beatboxer. I'm not sure of the answer to that question. I first heard the Fat Boys when they were the Disco 3. Fat, fat, fat boys. That's the first time I heard them a little bit before I heard Dougie Fresh later on in the year. I might have heard Dougie Fresh in late 84. And I believe I heard the Fat Boys in early 84, like in the summer spring. So, but I'm not sure who was first. But I've heard Dougie said he was the original human beatbox. So that's a great question. Can we get Dougie Fresh on the show? Yo, Dougie, what's up, man? I have no contact information for Dougie. He is a homeboy though. He is a good friend of the family. Um, maybe. Um, Engage VR YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Says Kenny, any 45 King 45s like Take Six Spread Love? First of all, I missed out on getting that Take Six Spread Love. It was a bootleg 45, just like the bootleg 12-inch. And on one side it was 45 King Spread Love, which it was first time I heard that, I lost my mind. I think the first time I heard that was either in a place called Club Sensations in Newark, New Jersey in like 89, or at the same time I saw Chill Rob G. Shout out to Chill Rob G, who was on this show a few months ago. I saw him perform in 89 and he came out to that. Spread love, da, da, da. And on the back of that 45, which is also on the back of that 12-inch bootleg, was the Earth, Wind, and Fire Brazilian rhyme or Brazilian love, Brazilian rhyme, the special edit, the da 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 da. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That was on the back of that. Both of those are fire. And that 45 came and went so fast, and now you can't even get it. Last I saw it, it was like 9 years ago on Discogs. It was like $50, $60. That was 9 years ago. So I would love to get that. To answer your question, I don't have that, but I do have the 900 number, which I will be playing tomorrow on 45. What other 45 King records do I own on 45? Queen Latifah, Ladies First, came out this year. I picked that up. Well, the original came out in 89, but they reissued it this year. Tommy Boy is reissuing a lot of 45s. I picked up Ladies First. That is a 45 King production. I do believe that is the only 45 King 45s that I own. Rest in peace to the 45 King. He was an incredible producer. Let me do my Benny Doyle scroll down because I am falling behind, y'all. Okay, I'm going to jump to right here. The driver, what's good? I don't recognize that name. Welcome to the channel. Says, do you know Sammy B? Yes, shout out to Sammy B. Sammy B is on the cut. I follow him on Facebook, so I see his posts a lot. Is there some conflict going on with him and the Jungle Brothers? I think I saw that. That would be terrible. My Eagle Wolf said, what's good, brother, from St. Louis, Missouri? What up from St. Louis? We did one show there in my time, and I got a chance to walk under that arch. In my time in BDP, we did one show in St. Louis. Jason Wall says UTFO's last album was in 91. Damn, I didn't know that. Dr. Ice left in 89, though. Yeah, that's when he signed to Jive. That's when I used to see him up there. Did not know UTFO put out no. They had a song called Fairy Tale Lover, which I used to like. That video used to be on live. It was like a slow jam. I used to like that. 49 and Neil, what up? Um, Vincent Ross, what's good? Says, good evening, DJ Kenny Parker. I rediscovered a hit by a former label mate of yours, Ruby Turner. It's gonna be all right. I don't remember that song. I do assume you mean Jive Records. Actually, I was never signed to Jive Records. KRS was signed to Jive Records. I was signed to KRS, not signed, but you know. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. No, I don't. I gotta go back. I might know that song if I listen to it, but it doesn't ring a bell off the top of my head. I definitely don't own it. Um, Henry Sedillo says, salute to UTFO, one of my favorite groups of all time. Salute to them, man. Um, let's see. Jamil says, ask Premier how come he's not working with KRS-One on a new album. Maybe because he's working with Nas. I don't know. When I was chilling with Premier Studio, that I don't think that conversation came up. DJ Platform says, hey Kenny, DJ Premier says, come by the studio. Is that where the former D&D, which is now the headquarters, is at? Had no idea that spot is still open. No. He moved his he had moved his studio out to, where was that at? Queens? Damn, I can't remember where was that? Queens, I believe. He moved the whole studio. No, it was not where D&D was. On what street was D&D on? Damn, 37th? 36th? 36th Street? Between 8th and 9th? I've probably done 40 records in D&D and don't remember the address. No, it's not there. He moved it to another spot in Queens. Spook Realm 4Q says house music all night long. I do have that 45 of the Jungle Brothers. I will be playing that. Um, yeah, the driver says Sammy B and the Jungle Brothers, Girl Out House. You, those are kind of records. Y'all are thinking skating jam now. I see where y'all going with this. I will definitely be playing that record. Uh, Chub Rock, Treat 'Em Right. Those kind of records go. Shout out to Chub Rock. That record always, them two records always kill it, by the way. Um, Joey Joe says, yeah, Premier does sell Gangstar shirts. Oh, okay. Um, so then I guess maybe you can pick this up. Not sure. Dan Marasuti says, wasn't there beef KRS versus a hip hop house artist? We've had so many beefs. Off the top of my head, I don't remember having beef with a hip hop house artist, but now that you brought it up, it sounds like vaguely familiar. Can't remember who it was or why, but it sounds familiar now that you brought it up. As I just raised my arm, I see that this shirt says champion on it. Preem is getting top. He's going top of the line. Let's go, Preem. Brand Yakubian, hi Kenny. What did you think of Hip House? Do you remember tracks like I'll House You and I'm Housing? Um, I did not really care for it, tell you the truth. I was not into house. To me, there was only like two or three memorable hip house records. That movement was for like what, 2 years? And I'll House You started it, and Queen Latifah, don't make me wait, come into my house, give me body. I used to like that. Shout out to the Queen. Um, I don't remember I'm Housing. That was that the EPMD remix. I did not. If that I didn't like EPMD did like a house record or some kind of up tempo record. I did not like that at all. I like funky EPMD. I like everything EPMD ever did, but not those fast records. Um, I'm trying to think of because Chubb Rock Treat 'Em Right. I don't really consider that hip house. It could be. I don't really consider it that, but that was banging, of course. I can't even remember any others that really stuck out in my head. And Jive had a whole bunch of them. Remember, I used to get all of those hip house records, but I never even really cared for them. KY, Stomp. That I don't even know if that's hip house. He was kind of rapping. Stomp. Yeah, that's the idea. Shout out to KY's. He's mad cool too. I met him in the 80s. Um, let's see. Rosmel says Gypsy Woman by Crystal Waters is the #1 house jam of the 90s. Well, it was probably the biggest. That was a monster record. Um, and I have that record right over there. I'm gonna play that too tomorrow. Uh, Show Me Love was big. Robin S. There's a few. I mean, that's probably the biggest one. Yeah, I would go with that. Now, the true house heads might be like, "Oh, that was so commercial," and they'll probably give you a list of other records that was bigger in the party. But for where I was at, that was bigger than that. That was a huge pop record. What's this? Earl Green says Shan is getting at Pete Rock for their song "Wise Up." Word? Why don't you wise up and show all the people? They sampled the bridge in one of those Common songs off his new album. Shout out to Common. Um, they didn't clear the sample, or what? What's the story with that? Who owns the publishing? Whoever owns the publishing has the conversation. I mean, truth be told, if Shan don't own his publishing, and as we know, back in the 80s, everybody got jerked. In the 90s and the 2000s, but especially in the 80s, all rappers got jerked. So Shan probably does not even own the publishing to that song. If not, then he has no conversation. He could be mad all he wants. But by business standards, Pete Rock can go to whoever owns the publishing and clear it and never have a conversation with Shan. So if Shan is getting at them, is it because he owns his publishing and didn't get cleared, or is he just mad that he didn't get any money? My Eagle Wolf says, how do you transport your gear and how much equipment you take? Well, on these particular gigs, they have gear at the spot. Um, they'll have everything all set up. They rent a whole system and bring it to places. Um, Vinyl Nights, I do parties with them in Brooklyn. In the summertime, we do parties outside in Brooklyn. We do parties on 34th Street, all free outside. It'd be packed, it'd be rocking. And they bring in a whole system. They bring turntables and mics and lights and a whole big setup. So all we gotta do is bring the records and our needles, headphones, and we rock out. Um, So most of the time, 99% of the time, I don't really have to bring anything but whatever I'm going to use to play. If I use a controller or CDJs, something like that, you bring them. If there's turntables, most of the time people have turntables. Or you'll say I need turntables to be there, and they will rent them. JT says that SOS band is a great tune. Yes, it is. This is one of my favorite records from that time. And it says #1 in the USA. Yeah, it went to #1 in the USA. Um, and then they got another singer. There's so much controversy in these groups. The girl who sung on this is not the girl who eventually SOS Band had a bunch of big records with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, I believe. And the girl, original girl who sung on this, wasn't even in the group. But yeah, that was a great record, man. Let's see. DJ Platform says, "Hey Kenny, can you believe that 40 years ago, Run DMC, the Fat Boys, and Houdini were on top running the rap game?" Yeah, I could believe it. No, what I can't believe is that 40 years passed just like that. That was 40 years ago, man. It went. I can remember Run DMC and the Fat Boys being on top of the game, and I can't believe that a hip hop fan like me got to meet Run DMC. I got to be cool with Jam Master Jay. I got and Reverend Run. I got to meet Reverend Run. I got to meet Prince Marky D and Kool Rock Ski of the Fat Boys. I never met Buffy. And I got Grandmaster D Houdini, that's the homie, of course. And I got to meet Ja Lil. I used to see Ja Lil in Brooklyn. And like I bumped into Ja Lil in like a bodega in Brooklyn. Like I was getting some juice or something. I was getting a Nantucket. Remember Nantucket juices? I was getting a Nantucket in Brooklyn, and I went to the counter, and next to me was Ja Lil, not Ja Lil, Ecstasy from a Houdini was right there. I was like, yo, that's Ecstasy Houdini. I was bugging. Um, but as a hip hop fan, I've been so blessed to meet people that I grew up idolizing. Mr. C says Dougie Fresh was first. He was in Beat Street. Yeah, but did Beat Street come out before the Fat Boys? I don't know about that. Dougie had a record. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that water almost killed me. Dougie had a record called, I think it was called The Original Human Beatbox before Beat Street. But if I in my mind, the Fat Boys was playing before the Fat Boys, that record Fat Boys, the first single, that was out before Beat Street. But Dougie could still be number one, but Def Rockers is Kenny. Who has the 45 King record collection? Who knows? But what a collection. Thick Cribs, dope name. No, Thick KR, Crates, KCRE8S, Thick Crates. Sorry. Says the 12-inch EP is even more rare. The 12-inch EP of the Spread Love with the Brazilian rhyme on the back is more rare than the 45. Maybe talking about something different. I was talking about that 12-inch. Death Rocker says Sensations and Club Zanzibar were the spots in Newark. Yes, they were. And I was in Sensations every week. I never went to Club Zanzibar because they played only house music and I wasn't into it. But they were the spots. Yeah, Mike Rocks 25 says it's probably safe to say DJ KP never stepped foot in the Zanzibar when he was in the bricks. That is correct, except Zanzibar had a hip hop night for a hot second. Like a hot second, they tried to have a hip hop night. And I went there once for the hip hop night. And it was short lived, I do believe. Uh, but yeah, I went to Zanzibar one time because of hip hop night. Kennard Roberts says, KP, can you get Kool Rock Ski so he can clear up who was number one? Because Dougie called out Human Beatbox on the show. Yeah, he did say that. I'm known for the, not for the, yeah, he did say that. But the show was 85. By that point, there was a few beatboxes out. Remember the Bad Boys, Inspector Gadget? Who was doing the beatbox? Was it the girl? That record was banging in New York. And the production on that was so dope. Um, I remember I had a huge argument with this kid in a bar about 10 years ago, maybe about 12 years ago. Because we were saying that Teddy Riley did the show, produced the show, played all the keys and everything for the show. As a teenager, he produced the show. Teddy Riley was ridiculous. And this guy was saying that he also did Inspector Gadget because they both used the Inspector Gadget theme song from the cartoon. And I was like, nah, I don't think Teddy Riley did Inspector Gadget. And this dude was like, yeah, we were arguing. And I remember I went home and I DM'd, I tweeted Teddy Riley on Twitter. I don't know Teddy Riley from Adam, and I would love to have him on this channel. That might be 3 hours. And I asked him, um, did you produce Inspector Gadget by the Bad Boys? And he actually hit me back and was like, no, I did not produce Inspector Gadget by the Bad Boys. So just to throw that out there, that was like, Inspector Gadget was like 84 too, right? And there was beatboxing in that, so that's a good question. SJB3 says Beat Street was 84, not 83, like Disco 3. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Disco 3 was in 83, was early. I remember the Disco 3 in the spring of 84. Oh shoot, this thing does this thing now. Okay. On the spring of 84. So I don't know who's first. Sweet Goldilocks says, Kenny, what's up? What's up? Um, Lindell Handy Sr., yes, says, good evening from Cincinnati. Big up. I was just in Cincinnati in September, doing some speaking engagements. Says, a tired grandpa watching my two grandboys, 1 and 2. Woo, you got your hands full. 1 and 2? Now I know why you're tired. Um, Congratulations on the grandkids, and thank you for checking out the channel. 1 and 2, boy, they got you running. Um, Let me jump down a little bit. Sorry to be skipping. I'm skipping some of you guys' comments, but I just want to catch up. Derek Mallory says, Cool Rock Steady. Yeah, there was a guy named Cool Rock Steady. Was he from Chicago? Had something to say. I think I remember that vaguely. Around that time, y'all, was so much going on, so many beefs. MK Ultra says, Monday, what's going on? What DJ KP community? For those that's just tuning in, I probably will not be here tomorrow, Tuesday, our normal time, because I will be DJing at Bryant Park in Manhattan near Times Square, a roller skating jam with Vinyl Nights. And it's from 6 to 9. So that's right in our time where we be rocking. So by the time I get home, which will probably be after 10 o'clock, I might jump on for a little while if you guys will be up. If you guys will be up, whoever's up, I may or may not, it depends on how tired I am, but I might jump on tomorrow. But that's why we're here on a Monday. I just decided it's last minute to do this Monday. And thank you everybody who's checking in. Thank you to everybody who's checking in on the rewind. We normally do this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But from now on, if I can't make a Tuesday, I'm going to jump to Monday. It should be rare, but I'm going to jump to Mondays. And next Tuesday, Sadat X will be here. Back again. William Hernandez says, yes, Cool Rock Steady out of Chicago. He had a video for it. Word, I didn't know that. He passed away, I believe. Dude had a video. Oh, Blad Jones and said Redhead Kingpin had a song. We did some shows with Redhead Kingpin. He was super cool. Shout out to Redhead Kingpin. Um, was that Hip House? Remember, he used to be doing all those dances. He was mad cool though. I would like to see Redhead Kingpin. I met him in '89. I liked him. Me and him used to talk backstage. He was mad cool. I actually liked him, man. Um, Michael from Morris, what up? Says, ha ha, time to bust out Twin Hype. I remember Twin Hype. Oh no. Dizzy the Gomer Jit. Dizzy the Gomerjit. The Gomerjit. How did y'all feel in New York when Tim Dog made F Compton? New York was hyped. But New York is always hyped. New York's attitude is really F everybody. So F Compton could have been any state, any city. I would keep it 100, y'all. That's the New York attitude at that time. But yeah, shout out to Tim Dog. Shout out to Said G, who produced the track. Said G is a friend of the channel. If y'all haven't, he was just on 3 weeks ago. Check that out. But yeah, F Compton, that went to #1 rap song on Billboard. DJ Platform says, hey Kenny, Big Daddy Kane, I Go to Work was a dope hip house song. Was that hip house or was that really New Jack Swingy? Now we know we're really cutting hairs right now. But I'm gonna put New Jack Swing over away from hip house. I Go to Work. Didn't Teddy Riley do that too? Mr. C said, you overdid it, Holmes. You had too much to drink. I did not like that song. And I love EPMD. One of my favorite groups of all time. I'm super cool with the whole squad, the whole Def Squad. Shout out to Redman. Shout out to the Twins. Shout out to Rockweiler. Shout out to DOS Effects. K Solo. The whole squad is family. Scratch. But I did not like you did it over. You overdid it, Holmes. You had too much to drink. It wasn't for me. Now, there's some people who probably thought it was dope. Doug Lazy, Let It Roll. I don't remember how that went, which means I probably, no disrespect. I remember Doug Lazy's name, so that means it was out. I remember the names, but I didn't listen to the records. Mr. Lee from Chicago was on Jive. Yes, he was. Pump That Body. Yeah, Jive had like a whole hip house compilation album they put out. That's what it was. Move, jump, jack your body. That was big. B-Boy Jones says King T on the club tip. King T had a club record? Say it ain't so. This is funny. Hip house. Best house track, C&C Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Shout out to my man, oh my God, now his name, I just drew a blank. The dude that's rapping on the song, that's the homie. Oh no. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, and that's the homie. Somebody help me out. The dude that's rapping on "Gonna Make You Sweat." I think he's the only one who's really who really vocals are real on that song, because they jacked Marsha Walsh from the Weather Girls. That was a whole controversy behind that. Um, Damn, what was that dude's name? That's the homie. I can see his face right now. Oh, I'm so disrespectful right now. Um, G Doyle says, "Damn, seems like KP has a different room for each day of the week he runs a podcast." That is not true. But I decided that since I'm gonna do a Monday, I'm gonna switch the location just to mix it up. By the way, if you guys get a chance, please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. Um, we've just reached an hour. We're gonna keep on keeping on. Um, Gary's Garage says, "What's up, Kenny? Philly in here. Crystal Waters has some hits. Yes, she did. I used to like I didn't 100% Pure Love. I liked it later. At the time it was just I wasn't into house and club, but later on that was hot, 100%. And she did a record with Kenny Dope and them too. That was dope. Shout out to Kenny Dope. Masters at Work. They was big in the 90s. They did some dope records. They did some dope records. Kennard Roberts says, "KP, Follow Me was the best house song." Here we go. That could have been. Crystal Waters was the biggest. Follow Me could have been the best. Then again, I love Break for Love. Break for Love to me was the record for me that started it all. It didn't. I know, don't come for me, you Chicago house heads saying this and that. Break for Love for me was the record that after that, everything started sounding like that to me. Now, I know there was a history before Break for Love, and y'all about to give it to me on here. Here we go. But Follow Me was also dope. That could have been the best house song. CMC's Techniques in Class says, MC Shan says he owns his publishing. Do we believe that, though? Do we believe that? I've seen artists straight up lie. I'm not saying he's lying, but he was signed to Cold Chillin'. I seen Marley Marl say that he never received a publishing check in his life until he did Mama Said Knock You Out for LL Cool J. That was in 1990. That means all the stuff he did for Cold Chillin', which was the whole catalog, he said he never got a publishing or royalty check for that. So Marley Marl didn't get any publishing, but MC Shan owns his publishing. I'm not saying he doesn't. It's just I might need to see some paperwork on that, Shan. Might need paperwork. This is interesting. Old School Food says, "I wonder if UTFO got for using Big Beat. Back in those days, it was very difficult to get got. Not difficult, but there were no sampling laws. So who knows? They sure did use Big Beat. That was early sampling. I don't know if they use a drum machine, probably, maybe, but they might have flew it in. I mean, threw it in on time, but they sure did use Big Beat. Yo, Roxanne was banging. Def Rocker says, "There's a video on YouTube and Hakeem Green is in a house dancing contest at Kilimanjaro." Yes, actually, Hakeem showed me that. Hakeem showed me that, and he said he was injured that day. He said he had ripped ligaments in his ankle or his knee or something like that, and he was thugging it out. Dancing. Yes, shout out to Hakeem Green. And he told me he lost to Big Les. Y'all know the legendary dancer Big Les, who later became the host of Rap City, but was dancing in all the videos. Shout out, that's my girl. Shout out to her. He said Big Les came in there and started doing somersaults and all kind of stuff and just took the trophy. She would be a dope person to get on this channel. Maybe I'll ask her. Brand Yakubian says, do you like using Serato? Yeah, I do. I've grown to like it because I don't like carrying records. That era of carrying crates and needing a car and multiple crates and back hurting and friends to help you, I don't miss that. And Serato was like the best of both worlds because you can use records and still have the feel and also have your thousands of records at your disposal. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I do like using Serato. Um, I remember in 2005, I believe, or 2004, I went up to Jive Records. I forgot what record I was looking for. And I was talking to my man who was doing promotions up there. His name was Ron. What is Ron's last name? Can't remember his last name. Damn, my bad, Ron. My man Ron up at Jive said, Kenny, check this out. And he went on the computer and showed me this thing. He said, look at this. They got this program where you can go from a record off of the songs off the computer and it'll play on a special record. And it's called Serato Live or Serato Scratch. I forgot what it was called then. And we looked at it and we laughed. I mean, we was like, there's no way that people are gonna accept DJing from a record to a computer. I remember we laughed at it. And he was showing this to me. This is the first time I had saw it. I was in Jive. He showed it to me on the computer. A year later, Serato was making its way. And I remember there was the war. You remember the war between Serato versus CDJs? Do y'all remember that war? Which new technology was gonna win? And it was looking like CDJs for a minute, but then Serato won. um, but yeah, to answer your question, I do like using Serato. I've grown to enjoy the mobility that it gives me and the amount of records that you can have at your disposal. Oh, Joey Joe says, Dougie Fresh Summertime. Was that a house record? I don't know if that's a hip house record or just an up-tempo R&B record. I have to listen to that again. KC Flight had a record that I liked. He sampled Letting the Days Go By, Water Under. Don't Let the Days Go By, KC Flight. I used to like that song. Um, I forgot the name of the original group, Letting the Days Go By. The Water Under. Talking Heads. And he sampled Talking Heads. That was a dope record. Shout out to KC Flight. King Son's on a club tip was dope. Divine Existence. Son once said that beat was originally made for LL on the club tip. I don't remember that song. Flochi once says, how young were the Fat Boys when they made Crush Groove? They had to be really young. They probably were like in their late teens because Crush Groove came out in 85, which means they had to have shot it in like 84, right? At least. And the Fat Boys were already stars. That's why they were in the movie. So they probably the same age as they were when they dropped their first album. They probably were like in their late teens. Let me scroll down. I'm gonna jump down, y'all. Ah, Doobie Funk 3000, what up? Old school food. K Love on the beatbox, and she blew our minds at 85. That's what it was. It was K Love from Inspector Gadget. That record was fire. I wonder what's up with K Love. Yo, I tell you what, we did a show. BDP did a show. I forgot what state it was, either Virginia or North Carolina. It was down south. And I remember we were doing sound check, and the sound man, somebody told us that was one of the dudes from the Bad Boys who did Inspector Gadget. And me and Chris was like, yo, he walked up to him and was like, yo, we heard you was like in the Bad Boys did Inspector Gadget. And he was almost like embarrassed. Like I remember he was just like, yeah, that's me, but here's your microphones, you like the sound. Like he just wanted to like change the subject. And I was a little thrown off by it because we was showing him mad love. Like, yo, Inspector Gadget was fire. Doobie Funk, you said that was 85. For some reason, I feel I have Inspector Gadget being before 85. Maybe it was, I feel like it was 84, but it could have been 85. I feel like Inspector Gadget was in like 84. Why do I feel that? Could have been 85, though. K Love was her name. That record was dope. Spookworm 4Q says DJ KP got a windowsill with nothing on it. That's funny. Actually, there's stuff on it, but it's further down. It's further down there. I could go grab something and pull it and show you what was on it. I got a trophy right there. But that's funny. Cerna says Teddy also did the keyboards on Rap's New Generation. He did all the Cool Mo D stuff. First of all, people don't really talk about how dope Rap's New Generation was. I don't know how big it was outside of New York, but in New York, Rap's New Generation, Red Alert used to kill that record. And he used to play the instrumental dub, was fire, and then he played the rhyme. Your rhymes are miscellaneous sometimes. And the dude, I'm forgetting these names. He killed the record. What was his name? Caleb Boss? Not Caleb Boss. That's the DJ for EPMD. I'm having a brain freeze. I can't remember the dude's name who was rapping on Rap's New Generation. But that was a big record in New York. And people, when they talk to Teddy Riley, they just don't even mention these records. That's why I wish if I had Teddy Riley on this show, I would dig all the way into all of that. K Bourne was his name. K Bourne was rapping on Rap's New Generation, not Caleb Boss. Caleb Boss was the DJ for EPMD. MC Cripple says, what up, KP? Just seeing you was live. Yes, I'm live on a Monday instead of a Tuesday because I will not be here tomorrow. Or if I do, it'll be for a second late night because I'll be DJing near Times Square at Bryant Park. What's this? Joey Joe says that Dougie Fresh live tapes from 79-80. Dougie Fresh has a tape from 1980 doing the beatbox. That would be crazy. MODX Mike, yes, KP. By the way, I did talk to Cool Rock, and he knows you're trying to get at him. I don't think he has your contact info. Yeah, we had exchanged numbers. Oh man, please get MODX Mike. If you can get my information to him, that would be dope. I would love to talk. I met Cool Rock Ski a few years ago. We sat and talked for like an hour, and we talked about the Fat Boys and their history and everything. I was picking his brain about everything. And if I could bring the conversation that I had with Cool Rock Ski to this channel, it would be incredible. MODX Mike, if you can make that happen, that would be absolutely fantastic. I had a number for him and I called it, but it must be out of serve, or he must have changed his number. Pat did that 52 says, bro, we will be up. You will be up at 10:30? All right, if you guys will be up, I might jump on tomorrow. Not a long live, but a short one. Depends on how I feel tomorrow, but I might jump on. Vex Peril says, bring set list. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna bring a bunch of stuff and see how it goes because I'm rocking with DJ Misbehavior. Shout out to her. So I don't know what she's gonna play, so you gotta bring extra stuff to see what's gonna go on. But I know I'm gonna play a lot of classic dance records and try to slip in some hip hop. I'm gonna play some old disco too. I'm gonna play Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like a song like September, especially for like an outdoor, well, it's gonna be indoors and outdoors. Those kind of parties, songs like September always brings the house down. I'm gonna play stuff like that. But Benny Dill says, what about ICU though? We'll see. I talked to ICU about getting on like 2 years ago. Before I even had guests, I talked to him about um, coming through. So we'll see. Demetrius Rousseau, tapping in from Chicago. Big up Chicago. What is it, like 0 degrees out there? Outside of Canada, Chicago might be the coldest place on earth. Doobie Funk 3000 says, do the right thing. Redhead Kingpin, 1989. Yeah. Do the right thing. That was his song. Yeah. We did shows with him. Summer says, didn't Tim Dog fake his death? Yeah, I've heard that conspiracy theory. And when Said G was on here the first time, he says, and this is his friend, he produced Tim Dog. This was his boy. He said he believed that Tim Dog faked his death. I saw something on the internet where they disputed that and said Tim Dog did indeed pass away. I don't know. I was always cool with Tim Dog. Him and Chris did a song together. Roz Mel says, I got F Compton on my cell phone playlist. Gregory Netter says, I was in shock Tim Dog made F Compton. Everybody was. But I enjoy West Coast music and NWA. I love NWA. I love Dr. Dre's production. The DOC album, to me, is one of the greatest albums of all time. And yet, F Compton was banging too. Like, it's one of them fights where I don't got nothing to do with that fight. So you see two people that scrap it and you just on the sidelines watching, and they both throwing crazy blows. It was like that. Like, but I was down with Ultra and BDP is family. So, and Tim Dog is an extension of Ultra. So I used to see Tim Dog all the time. But a shout out to Tim Dog, had an ill crew rolling with him from Webster Projects too. Shout out to late great iGuard, for those that know. That crew that from Webster, they was real too. If somebody had ran up on Tim Dog, it would have been problems. DJ Platform 204 says, hey Kenny, any plans for Chris's 60th birthday in August? Not as of the moment that I know of, but I'm going to bring up to him that he said in Mad-ism, ripping the microphone until I'm motherfucking 60. He said that in 1994. We are now 31 years later. And then his 60th birthday, let it rock. I think I'm gonna hold him to that. He said it. He's still on the mic ripping, so. Jamel says, I wonder why KRS and Rakim never collaborate. Your guess is as good as mine, man. Um, Corey Fuss says, Kenny, Nervous was hip house. Nervous to me put out more house. Like, was it hip house? Was there people rapping over a house beat? I mean, I don't have the whole Nervous discography in my mind, but I just remember them putting out like legit house records. Um, but that, like I said, that wasn't my thing. Um, let's see. Corey Flood, thank you so much. Freedom Williams. My bad, Freedom Williams. That is my homie. He used to be in the club all the time chilling. Um, and he rapped on a gigantic record. I hope he got publishing on that song because he could still eat. And they still do shows. You know them shows that be like, now that's what I call the 90s type shows. And you'll have a lot of people with like one big, you'll have like C&C Music Factory. You'll have like Raw Bass and Salt and Pepper will be on it and In Sync, and then it'll be Biz used to do a lot of them shows. I remember Biz used to tell me like he'll have a lot of shows where he'll do one song. He'll do them shows where he do Just a Friend. That's it. And Freedom Williams is still out there doing them shows, so he's still getting money. If you could eat off of something you did 35, 40 years ago, big up to you. B-Boy Jones said, yeah, Freedom Williams. I don't know why that name was, I could not get that name out. Um, yes, and the woman's name is Martha Walsh. I could not get that out. I said Marsha Walsh. What is this? Hype Style says Freedom Williams was a rapper for CC Music Factory and was also claims he's a 5%er. I did not know that. And was going at LL at the time C&C's record came out. Word? Did not know that. Joey says MC Freedom from CC Music Factory wasn't that good. You know, and once again, you know, I always have this argument on this channel. There's no such thing as good and bad because he wasn't that good, but he was good enough to rap on a record that sold millions and he's still eating off of it. So to me, that's good. I mean, he rapped the rap that worked for that song, for that audience. Um, there's a lot of MCs who could rap incredible bars that no one ever heard of. He was fortunate enough to jump on that song with that style. I'm happy for him. Def Rocker said, remember the song Fresh is the Word? Are you kidding me? Mantronics is the crew that you must hear, so please don't get concerned. That record was huge in New York. Shout out to Mantronics. Let me scroll down. Aaron Stamper said the best house song was House Music by Marshall Jefferson. That could, there's an argument for that. That record is fire. Now, that record I liked. At the time, it was on a lot on the radio. It was all right, but I appreciate it more now. And I have the 45, and I'm going to play that tomorrow, too. Corey Flood says, follow me is better than set it off. Easy, Corey Flood, easy. You mean set it off strafe? Now, first of all, strafe, I don't consider that a house record, so it's like apples and oranges, but set it off is whew, easy, Corey Flood. MC Light, Light is a Rock video version. I think that was a hip house song. I think that was a hip hop song. Hip house. Reggie Johnson said, how y'all gonna sleep on my girl CeCe? I'm not sleeping on CeCe Peniston. She was big in that era too. There was some dope. There was some bangers back then. There was some bang. That was like is that the golden era of house music? That early mid 90s? Is that like the golden era? CeCe Peniston was killing them. Finally, it has happened to me. Do I have that record? Yeah, I did notice. I forgot about this summer. Vaughn Mason is raised. He also managed Doug Lazy. Yes, Vaughn Mason from Bounce Rock Roll Skate also made the Ray's House record, Break for Love. That's a talented brother. He passed away a few years ago. Super talented, man. Dudes were so talented back then. Doobie Funk says, follow me is a certified classic. Yes, it is. Is it better than Set It Off, though? Corey Flood says, Set It Off is one of the very best house songs. Also, Corey Flood, you are saying that Set It Off is better? I don't know. First of all, I don't consider Set It Off a house song, but that record is absolutely incredible. That track, the bass line, that is an absolutely incredible song. Ten City, That's the Way Love Is. I have that record. I may play that tomorrow. If I go, if it gets to be like a house direction, I might throw that on too. That was a big record. Ten City had a few records. Devotion. Benny Doyle says, I don't know anything about house music. Don't feel bad, Benny Doyle. I don't know much. I know a few records. People are getting in though. Yeah, Dan Marasuti says, R.I.P. to Vaughn Mason, aka Raised from Break for Love. And how crazy was Bounce Rock Roll Skate though? Oh my God. Our business says, nah, they didn't sample Big Beat, meaning UTFO, but they simulated it using a drum machine. I could have sworn Big Beat was in that record. Maybe they boom, ba boom, boom. You're right. Maybe they found the sounds and mimicked the drum pattern. Joey Joe says, would Planet Rock be considered a hip hop record? I don't think so. Planet Rock really started the whole freestyle movement, right? That record was ahead of its time. Def Rocker says there was rumored LL got robbed at Sensations back in the day. I never heard that, but a lot of people got robbed at Sensations was off the hook. Newark was off the hook. And I used to be in Sensations. I saw so many fights in Sensations. Oh my God. Big Daddy Kane told me once that they did a show in Sensations and they literally had to fight their way out of the club and down the block. Kane said they were fighting back to back, him and his boy back to back with their backs touching each other, fighting to get out of Sensations. And they were the headline act. BDP did Sensations a few times. I think I did Sensations in 90. When I first got in the group, we did Sensations. And I DJ'd. I was also there. D Nice did Sensations. He came out and they called me D Nice. I was there for that. Sensations was a dope club that never gets mentioned because it was in New Jersey. Joey Joe says, I've always considered Break for Love an electro funk record too. Maybe. I love that song. DJ KD Hover 23 says Ron Mills. That's his name. Damn, I'm having such a blank today. Ron Mills from Jive. That's my dude. He's the first person to put me on Serato. He showed it to me on a computer, and we were laughing. Dartmouth says, thank you, DJ Kenny Parker. Break for Love is a song title I've been searching for every day for years. Wow. Finally, success. Thank you. Look at that. The DJ Kenny Parker Show has helped somebody find a song they've been looking for years. I know that feeling. Especially before the internet, there were songs I was searching for decades I couldn't find. And then once you get the title, you'd be like, oh, and it'd be right there. Summer says the first technology was Final Scratch. Serato was called Final Scratch. Yeah. That means I'm way behind where y'all at. Chris Morale, that's it, says, we're your brother. Shaba voice. That's a funny story from a few months back. I was talking about the great gargoyle Shaba Ranks, as a good friend of BDP, and of course KRS and Shaba did a song together, which I worked on behind the scenes. And whenever I see him, when I used to see him, he used to go, we're your brother. That's how he sounded to me. And everybody's like, your Shaba Ranks impersonation is terrible. To me, it's dope. We're your brother. That's how he used to sound. His voice is deep, though. We're your brother. That's what he used to say to me. To me, that's a dope impersonation. But anyway, the question is, what kept you and your brother off of drugs and out of jail, being that you are famous and have the world at your disposal? You know what? I think certain things have to be in you. I think, and I've never been rich or famous. I've been around rich and famous. I would consider my brother to have been rich and famous. I've been around enough famous people, and I've seen a lot of people before they became famous and then as they blew up. The only thing that fame and money does is magnify who you already are. So if you are a knucklehead and then you get money and fame, you become a gigantic worldwide knucklehead. If you were already into drugs and you get money and fame, it's more drugs. If you were already doing crimes, you get money and fame, maybe you do more crimes. So, and I'm going to plug the book. And I'm going to plug the book right now. For those of you who have not read the book, I go into gigantic detail about our upbringing. And we weren't the kind of kids who were into drugs and crime as children growing up in New York City when it was the crime and murder capital of the world, of America, not the world, but the crime and murder capital of America at the same time New York was for like a decade. And we grew up in that environment, and yet we weren't those kind of kids. So when you become rich and famous, you just do more of what you normally did. For Chris, all he ever wanted to do in his life was be an MC. There's nothing else he ever wanted to do. Nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. So now that he became rich and famous, what you got is 35 years of raps. That's all he wanted to do. For myself, I wanted to play ball, basketball, and that's all I did with my time was play ball. And then I got into the music, and that's all I did was music. So I just was, to answer your question, you just become more of what you already are. That's my opinion. Let me see the time. We had an hour and 36. All right, y'all. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom. Damn. I have just skipped like 100 comments. I'm gonna skip to I'm a wind down. I'm just get a couple more questions and I'm gonna wind down. Tomorrow I will probably not, but maybe be on around 10:30 tomorrow night because I will be DJing at a roller skating jam in New York tomorrow. If you guys have have some time, come through. Next Tuesday, Sadat X will be here. We could talk to him some more. He was a great interview last time. Shout out to X. Shout out to the Brand Nubian crew. And Kung Fu, what's good? I don't recognize that name. Says, hey KP, you think you could go live on your page at the skating rink? I don't know about that. I would have to get Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna be carrying records, and I mean I'd have to carry a computer or my phone. I can hook it up to the phone. Maybe. I mean, playing the 45s, you gotta really concentrate. So I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna jump off. Mike Rock 25 says Barbara Tucker. Barbara Tucker had a big record back in the day. Classic. Aaron Stamper says Planet Rock is hip hop. That's what I would agree with that. To me. Spook Realm 4Q says now DJ KP answers that question. I don't know what question it was that I didn't answer because I'm super behind what you guys are talking about. GFRL says, hope the DJing goes well tomorrow, KP. Wish I could be there. Thank you so much. Next Tuesday, we will be back at the same scheduled time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's it. I think I'm going to jump off at this moment and finish organizing the records here. And all right, that's it. We're gonna wrap this up right now. Peace, y'all. I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow night. I'm gonna try my darndest to get on tomorrow night for a quick second, let y'all know how it goes and just see what's up. Once again, shout out to all the people in LA, the tragic fires out there. Sending you all prayers from the Kenny Parker show. And I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow. All right, peace.